200 years ago, humans sent a small metal probe into deep space. It carried a peaceful message, sounds of Earth, pictures of animals, maps, greetings in many languages. They called it the Hope Signal. People forgot about it. New wars came, new leaders. Technology changed. But the Hope Signal kept flying, silent and slow, past planets, past stars. Then one day, it came back. It didn't land. It crashed. At exactly 2:03 a.m. It fell from the sky and hit the deserts of Nevada. The shockwave broke windows in 3 towns. Emergency teams arrived within minutes. What they found inside shocked the world. It was the same metal probe. Same size. Same shape, but it was burned. The outer shell had alien symbols scratched into it, deep and violent, like claws. And inside the probe was something else. Something it never carried before, a black cube. When the cube was taken to the Earth Space Research Lab, it began to hum. No power, no wires. It powered itself. Then it spoke. You speak of peace. We hear only conquest. This is your last warning. Dr. Evelyn Hart, lead scientist, stared at the cube. Her hands shook. Play it. Again, she said. The cube repeated the words. Security officers called military command. Within 1 hour, all global leaders were alerted. The probe was declared Class 1 threat. It wasn't a gift. It was a message. And then Earth's largest space telescope, ISAT-12, saw something impossible. 30-7 unidentified objects were moving toward Earth. They weren't asteroids. They weren't debris. They were ships. And they were fast. Chapter 2. Something is coming. Commander Rehan, head of Global Defense Orbit, stood in silence as radar screens lit up. They're coming from the edge of the solar system, said his assistant. No response to our signals. No deviation in their path. Speed? He asked. 20 times faster than our fastest ship. Rehan looked up. Time of arrival? The assistant hesitated. 2 weeks, maybe less. The world leaders gathered through secure channels. Panic filled the screens. Some wanted to attack. Some wanted to wait. Some said it was fake, a trick, a mistake. But then came the second message. It didn't come through satellites. It came through dreams. People across the globe, pilots, scientists, children, all reported the same dream on the same night. Dark skies, cold silence, and a voice that whispered, "You called us. Now we are coming." Chapter 3. Signal Room 9. In a deep underground lab in Iceland, a secret room called Signal Room 9 held Earth's most powerful deep space transmitter. For years, it had only listened. Now, it was about to speak. Dr. Evelyn Hart stood before the machine with a team of 10 language experts. We must respond, she said. We must try again. She recorded a new message, slow, clear, humble. We sent the message in peace. We welcome all life. We are sorry for what we sent. Please speak to us. The message was sent in every frequency, every language. Even through laser pulses, there was no reply. But then something strange happened. The cube, the one that came with the probe, began to glow. Blue light poured from its center. A wave of cold air swept across the lab. It spoke. Again, new words this time. Message received. Response in motion. Do not speak again. Chapter 4. Shadows over the moon. 10 days later. At 4:44 a.m., the moon's surface changed. Astronomers noticed strange shadows moving across it, straight lines, large shapes. Then the truth became clear. The alien ships were slowing down. They were entering Earth's orbit. Earth's defense systems activated. Satellites tracked each object. Missiles were armed. Cities were placed under high alert. All eyes turned to the sky. Then, over Europe, a black triangle-shaped ship appeared. Completely silent, larger than any human ship ever made. It hovered in the clouds. No lights, no sound. Just presence. People across the world watched from phones, rooftops, windows. Everyone held their breath. And then, it spoke. Not through sound. Not through speakers. But inside every mind. You sent the voice of your world. But you also sent your wars. You sent your bombs. You sent your madness. We cannot allow your kind to reach further. In every city, people dropped to their knees. Some cried. Some ran. Some stood still, frozen. The alien ships moved across the skies slowly, like hunters circling prey. No attack yet, but the feeling was clear. This was judgment. Chapter 5. Inside the alien cube, back at the Earth Space Research Lab, scientists managed to open the black cube. Inside was not metal or wires, but living tissue. It pulsed like a heart. Dr. Evelyn scanned. It's recording thoughts, she said, not just ours. The whole planet, it's reading us. What does that mean? Asked the general. It means they don't need weapons to destroy us. They can break us from inside. Suddenly, the cube cracked. Blue smoke rose. Then it showed a picture, an image of Earth turning black, its oceans boiling, cities gone. This is a warning, Evelyn whispered. This is what they think we will become. The general looked at her. Then how do we stop them? She shook her head. I don't know. But we need to show them we're more than our past. Chapter 6. The child signal. In a small village in India, a 9-year-old boy named Arav built a tiny radio from scrap parts. He had been listening to space signals for weeks. One night, he sent a short message in Hindi. Please don't hurt my planet. I love it. I have a cat. I have a tree. My mom sings to me. I don't want to die. The signal should have gone nowhere, but the next morning, the sky over his village cleared. A single alien ship hovered above and stopped for 5 full minutes. It stayed there. Then it moved on. Satellite logs later showed a strange energy signal going from that ship to the others, as if something was shared. Something small, something human. Chapter 7. The countdown begins. Back in global defense orbit, Commander Rayhan saw new data. The alien fleet was repositioning. 37 ships now circled Earth in a perfect sphere. They're locking us in, he said. Why haven't they attacked yet? Asked his team. They're waiting, he replied. Or watching. Military leaders begged to fire, but Rayhan stopped them. They gave us a warning, one chance. If we strike first, it's over. He looked out the window at the dark triangle above the clouds. They didn't come to talk, but maybe ... they came to test us. Chapter 8. Final transmission. Dr. Evelyn stood alone in Signal Room 9. She prepared one last message. To the ones who answered, we are not perfect. We have fought wars. We have made mistakes. But we also build, sing, learn, and love. We are trying to be better. Please, give us time. She hit send. The signal flew across space. For 2 long hours. There was no response. Then all the alien ships blinked once, and the cube, now almost dead, lit up again. Final words appeared. This is your last warning. The next time you speak, we will not listen. The skies went quiet. The ships remained watching, and the world held its breath. The ships didn't attack. They just watched. And then they started talking inside people's minds. The alien ships stayed in Earth's orbit for 4 days. They didn't fire. They didn't land. They didn't speak again. People across the world lived in fear. Planes stayed grounded. Schools closed. Roads were empty. Every country was silent. The ships didn't move, but something else did. Chapter 1. Whispers at Night. It started with dreams. In Tokyo, a pilot dreamed of his ship falling into fire. In Brazil, a girl dreamed of cold metal hands touching her face. In Kenya, a soldier woke up screaming, speaking in a strange voice. They were not just dreams. People were hearing words. Soft, faint, like static. We hear you, we see you, you will listen. Dr. Evelyn Hart got a call from a hospital in New York. 5 patients. No connection to each other. We're all writing the same symbols on the walls, the same alien symbols from the returned probe. She watched the security camera footage. None of them had seen the symbols before, but all of them were writing in perfect shape. Something was speaking to them. Chapter 2. Command silence at Global Defense Orbit HQ. Commander Rehan paced back and, "Fourth, we're being watched," he said. His staff looked nervous. "Should we respond?" Rehan shook his head. "No, not until they speak first. But Commander, something strange is happening." "What now?" The officer showed him a screen. All military satellites had begun receiving strange signals. Low-frequency radio waves. The same waves were being picked up by cell phones, radios, even smart toasters. They carried no words, just static dot. But behind the noise, if you listened closely, there were voices dot soft, faint, speaking every language. Some said they heard crying. Others heard angry commands. A few heard their own names. Chapter 3. The broadcast that never stopped in London. A famous news anchor named Mia Colburn sat in front of the camera. She had done this job for 20 years. Today, her hands were shaking. She looked into the lens and said, "The alien ships have still not made any moves. But something is happening to people. Dreams, sounds, strange thoughts. Hospitals are full. Governments are quiet. And we are not alone in our heads anymore." She stopped mid-sentence. Her eyes went wide, and then she whispered a sentence in a deep male voice that was not hers. "You cannot run from the truth inside you." Then she fainted on live TV. That moment was seen by over 300 million people, and that was the moment the world broke. Chapter 4. Static zones. Major cities began shutting down entire blocks where signals were strongest. These areas were called static zones. In Paris, people inside the zone started speaking in unknown languages. In Seoul, a group of kids stared at the sky for hours and refused to eat. In Chicago, a man tried to climb a radio tower, saying, "I must return the message." No one knew what to do. Doctors couldn't explain it. Psychologists called it mass panic. But Dr. Evelyn Hart had another idea. "It's not panic," she said. "It's connection." Chapter 5. The signal inside the brain. Evelyn and her team placed a patient inside a brain scanner. The woman had been writing alien symbols for 3 days straight. As the machine read her brain waves, something strange happened. The scanner started showing 2 signals. One was her brain. The other was something else. "We're not just being watched," Evelyn said. "We're being read." One of her assistants asked, "Read? Like a book?" She nodded. "Or like a computer?" They ran a test, sending a strong magnetic pulse to block the outside signal. For 5 minutes, the patient woke up. She was normal, scared, confused. Then the signal returned. Her eyes turned white. She began to whisper, "You will see your true self soon." Chapter 6. The Voice of the Sky. On the 7th day, everything changed. A storm formed above the Atlantic Ocean, but it wasn't a normal storm. It had no lightning, no wind, no thunder, only sound. Radio towers across the world picked up the same message over and over. You sent a message, you opened the gate. We are not your enemies, but you are your own. The alien ships moved for the first time. Very slowly, they drifted closer to Earth, not attacking, but scanning. Light beams fell on cities, on forests, on oceans. They were looking, studying, recording. The sky stayed quiet, but the message kept playing. People began to lose control. Chapter 7. Collapse of calm. All over the world, fear exploded. In Los Angeles, riots broke out. In Moscow, people ran into underground tunnels. In Cairo, entire neighborhoods went silent. No phones, No lights, people. Didn't fear the aliens anymore. They feared what the aliens were showing them. The message didn't just say humans were violent. It showed images, scenes from human history. War, slavery, bombs, hate. People saw these in their heads. And then they began to hear themselves, their own worst memories, their own guilt. The aliens weren't attacking Earth with weapons. They were attacking with truth. Chapter 8. Aria and the Static Flower. In a small town in Norway, a deaf girl named Aria sat in her garden. She couldn't hear the static, but she saw something strange. A single flower, her favorite red tulip, had turned blue. Glowing. She touched it and closed her eyes. In her mind, she saw stars, planets, ships flying. Then a face, not human, not alien, but light and shape. It didn't speak with words. It spoke with feelings. She felt sadness, fear, curiosity, kindness. The feeling said, "We do not hate you. We fear what you could become." When she opened her eyes, her flower was back to normal. But she now understood something. They weren't here to kill humans. They were here to decide if humans should be allowed to continue. Chapter 9. Council of Silence. The World Leaders met again through secure video call. No one spoke for the first few minutes. President Zhao of China finally asked, "Has anyone made contact?" No one answered. Then Commander Rihen said, "They're talking. Just not with words. They're showing us our own darkness. They're testing us." Prime Minister Okoye from Nigeria nodded. "So, how do we pass the test?" Evelyn appeared. On the screen, we show them what else we are. Chapter 10. The Child Speaks Again. In India, Arav, the same boy who sent the message earlier, sat with his small radio. He spoke again. "I don't know why you're angry, but I'm sorry. We can be better. Please watch us a little more." A minute later, one of the alien ships moved. It changed direction and hovered above Arav's house. It dropped something from the sky. A crystal, smooth, glowing blue. Inside the crystal was a pulse. A heartbeat. It wasn't alien. It was human. Final scene. The line has been drawn. All 37 alien ships turned to face the same direction. Upward. Into deep space. Commander Rihan looked at the radar. "What are they doing?" Evelyn's voice came through the radio. "They're not here alone." "What?" "They're sending a message back to someone else. A bigger ship. A command ship maybe. Or something worse." A long silence filled the room. Rihan whispered, "This wasn't the invasion. This was the inspection." The alien ships circled Earth for 9 days. They never fired. Until today. The world had changed. Every nation stopped watching each other. Now they watched the sky. The alien ships, 37 of them, formed a perfect net around Earth. Black, silent, unmoving. For days they hovered like shadows above the clouds. And then, at 6:13 a.m. GMT, everything changed. Chapter 1. Blue light. It happened over Argentina. A small town called San Felipe. Population 14,000. No warning. No sound, just light. A wide beam of glowing blue light came from one of the alien ships. It hit the ground and erased the entire town in seconds. Not burned, not exploded. Erased. No crater, no smoke, just nothing. Where the town once stood, there was now smooth, white rock. Perfect and round, like glass. From space. It looked like a hole burned through Earth's skin. Chapter 2. The response. Within seconds, every military on Earth locked missiles on the alien ships. Commander Rihan stood in front of the global defense screen. His jaw was tight. Was that an attack? Dr. Evelyn Hart's voice came over the comms. "No, it was a demonstration." Rihan didn't blink. "They erased a town." "Yes," she said. "But they didn't touch any capital. Cities. No military bases. No warning. That was a message." "What message?" "They are showing us what happens if we fail their test." Chapter 3. The President Speaks. All screens across the globe lit up. One channel. One message. The UN. President Amara Voss appeared. Eyes tired, voice strong. This was not war. This was judgment. We sent a message of peace to the stars. They answered with fear. Now they watch us, our history, our thoughts, our dreams. We must show them something else. We must survive. The speech gave hope, but some didn't listen. Chapter 4. Fire from Earth. 12 hours after the San Felipe strike, a rogue submarine from an unknown nation launched 3 nuclear missiles at the nearest alien ship. The missiles flew fast. Fast. Enough to reach the ship in 2 minutes. People around the world watched on news feeds. Would it hit? Would it work? No doubt the missiles exploded mid-air, far from the ship. Not by alien weapons, not by their own. The warheads were disarmed in flight. Every screen on Earth went black. And then the sky spoke. Do not try again. This was your only mistake. The next one ends your planet. Chapter 5. The AI speaks. In a hidden base under Greenland, a forgotten AI system named LUX came online. It was built long ago, a Cold War experiment. Designed to respond to global extinction threats. Now, it activated itself. Its voice echoed through old radio towers. Protocol. Extinction defense. Target. Unknown civilization. Strategy. Psychological override. Evelyn Hart received the signal. LUX is still alive? She asked. Yes, said Rehan, and it has a plan. Chapter 6. The Mental Shield. Lux did not plan to fight the alien ships with guns. It planned to fight them with the mind. It launched a signal of its own, a silent pulse that covered Earth. It created a mental shield, blocking the alien static, the dream voices, the emotional control. People slept peacefully for the first time in days. Evelyn called it the calm wave. It was not perfect. Some people could still hear voices. Some heard new ones. Lux was not just protecting Earth. It was listening back. Chapter 7. Inside the static, in a lab in Alaska, Lux downloaded parts of the alien signal into a machine. It created an image from the data. Evelyn stared at it. It looked like a face, shifting, changing, part human, part smoke. Lux translated the data into words. They do not come from one planet. They come from one mind, a connected species. What one sees, all see. That meant only one thing. If one alien saw violence, all of them saw it. If one feared humans, all of them did. Chapter 8. A ship that moved in the middle of the Indian Ocean. A single alien ship did something strange. It broke formation. It flew low, quiet, slow, and landed on water. People on nearby boats watched it float like an island. No attack. No message. Just presence. A scientist sent a small drone toward it. As the drone got close, it was pulled into the ship's side like a magnet. The drone's camera stayed online for 3 seconds. In those seconds, it showed something shocking. A human face inside the ship. Crying. Chapter 9. A visitor's tear. The image was shared with Evelyn and Rehan. What does it mean? Rehan asked. Evelyn whispered. They are starting to feel what we feel. Is that good? I don't know. Back on the ocean, the alien ship slowly rose again, higher than the clouds. Then it did something no other ship had done. It sent a signal back into deep space. A bright beam, clear, strong. It was calling for help, or reporting something. Lux detected it. Evelyn read the translation. Human response unstable. Judgment unclear. Requesting authority. She looked at Rehan. They're not the decision makers, she said. Then who is? He asked. Her voice dropped. The one who's coming next. Chapter 10. City in the sky over South Africa. The largest alien ship began to change shape. It opened like a flower, petal-like structures unfolding, revealing a glowing structure inside. People called it the city in the sky. It showed buildings, lights, movement, alien shapes walking. The ship was not a weapon. It was a home. Inside were thousands, maybe more. Not soldiers, civilians. The invaders weren't just military. They had brought their people, their children. Their future. Final scene. The clock starts now. Lux sent a message to every human screen. It showed a countdown. 72 hours. What happens in 72 hours? Rayhan asked. Evelyn stood still. That's how long until the next wave arrives. More ships? She nodded. Or something worse? He asked, can we stop it? She looked at the sky. I don't think we're supposed to stop it, she said. I think we're supposed to prove something before it gets here. The countdown has begun. 72 hours. Earth has 3 days to prove it deserves to live. The alien ships floated above Earth like silent judges. They didn't speak. They didn't move. But everyone knew they were waiting for something. A single timer glowed on every screen, every wall, even inside people's minds. 71 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds. 71 hours 58 seconds. 71 hours 59 minutes and 57 seconds. The countdown had started. And no one knew what would happen when it hit 0. Chapter 1. The Hidden System. Commander Rehan stood in the cold control room of Black Vault Base, deep under Greenland. The lights flickered as the AI system Luke spoke. Time until arrival of the next force, 71 hours. Current alien behavior, observation mode. Recommended action, activate Project Survival. Dr. Evelyn Hart stood beside him. We built that project during the Cold War, she said. It was never meant to be used, Rehan nodded. Now it's all we've got. Chapter 2. What is Project Survival? Project Survival was not a weapon. It wasn't a bomb. It wasn't a virus. It was an idea. A last resort system created by old scientists who believed that if Earth ever faced extinction, the only way to survive was not by fighting, but by changing minds. It was a global program, stored deep inside LUX's core. Its job, to send emotions. To show the enemy what it feels like to be human. Fear, hope, pain, love, regret. Real, raw human emotions turned into waves, signals, dreams. It was meant to make invaders feel, because maybe, just maybe, they would understand. Chapter 3. The first upload. Evelyn connected her neural chip to Lux's system. The AI's calm voice filled the room. Select memory for emotional transfer. She closed her eyes and selected a memory. She was 6 years old, standing in the rain, holding her mother's hand at her father's funeral. The cold, the crying, the confusion, and the feeling of helplessness when she saw her mother break. It was the first time she felt grief. Lux absorbed the memory. It converted the image into wave patterns. It spread the pulse across Earth's satellite systems. The signal reached space. One of the alien ships blinked blue for the first time. It moved away slightly, as if in pain. Chapter 4. The reaction across the globe. People began to report strange things. A pilot felt like he had just lost a parent, though both were alive. A soldier sat down and cried during training, unable to explain why. A child said he dreamed of a lady in the rain who lost her dad. The emotional signal wasn't just going to the aliens. It was coming back. Human minds were now linked with alien minds, both sending and receiving something dangerous, something powerful. And it had only just begun. Chapter 5. Xerax awakens. Aboard the largest alien ship, the one Earth called the City in the Sky, a figure sat alone. Tall, silver-skinned, black eyes that saw everything. His name was Xerax. An overseer, a war judge. He had ended 9 civilizations before, but now something was wrong. He felt something in his chest, tight, burning, heavy. He walked to the memory wall of his ship and touched a glowing panel. A vision played before him, a small girl, Crying in the rain, he saw Evelyn's memory. He felt her pain. He collapsed. His assistants rushed to help. "Commander Xerax, are you unwell?" he whispered. "They bleed differently." Chapter 6. A new kind of weapon. Rayhan called the world leaders into a secure channel. "This isn't war," he said. "It's a conversation. And we're not speaking with words," Evelyn added. "We're speaking with memories." Some leaders were confused, others afraid. What happens if we show them the wrong ones? The Japanese Prime Minister asked. "Then they'll see only our hate," Evelyn said. "But if we show them our truth, the real us, they might step back." So Earth sent more memories: a mother giving birth, a soldier saving a child during war, a scientist failing 100 times before building clean energy. Stories of effort, pain, love, and change. Chapter 7. Break in the Hive. Xerax began acting differently. He refused to order attacks. He told his guards to lower their shields. And then he spoke to Earth. Not through a speaker, not through a message. He projected himself into Evelyn's mind. "Why did you send Pain?" he asked. Evelyn stood in her dream. She answered, "Because that's how we learn. You could have sent pride or strength." "We tried that once," she said. "You saw it as a threat." Xerax looked at her with new eyes. "We were taught your kind cannot change. And we were told your kind cannot feel," she said softly. They stared at each other. And then Xerax cried. Chapter 8. Earth fights without guns. The countdown hit 48 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. Lux began sending thousands of emotions into space every second. From old memories, from new ones. People volunteered from every country. Some shared trauma. Some shared joy. And slowly, the alien fleet started to waver. Some ships stopped glowing. Others moved further back. A few even turned away from Earth's orbit completely. Xerax sent a private message to Rayhan. "You are not what we expected. But we are not alone in command. The others are coming. And they will not feel as I do." Chapter 9. Internal War. Inside the alien fleet, something changed. 2 ships turned against the others. They attacked their own. A silent battle happened in orbit. Blue light beams. Silent explosions. Earth's telescopes caught it all. Evelyn stared in shock. "They're fighting each other," she said. Rayhan added, "Some of them believe in us now. Some don't." Lux confirmed. Alien unity broken. Possibility of peace increased by 28%. But new data flashed across the screen. Another object was entering the solar system. Larger, darker, faster. Lux said one word: reinforcements. Chapter 10. The Final Upload. Evelyn knew they had one last chance. She prepared her final upload. A painful memory. The day she had to shut off life support for her brother after a car crash. She remembered the decision, the guilt, the moment. She kissed his forehead and said goodbye. Lux sent it across the stars, deeper than before. Straight toward the dark ship still far from Earth. Xerax received it. He stood tall, and he turned his ship, not toward Earth, but toward the incoming force. He sent a message. "They are not perfect, but they are not monsters. I will stand with them." Final scene. Humanity's real weapon. The countdown read 24 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. Lux's systems glowed. "Commander." Rayhan looked at the Earth map. No more red zones. No more riots. Peace. For now. Evelyn stood on the roof of Black Vault Base, looking at the stars. "We didn't win with bullets," she said. Rayhan stood beside her. "We fought with what made us human." She nodded. And then Lux spoke once more. "Prepare for contact. A decision is coming. The next 24 hours will decide Earth's future." They both looked at the sky. Waiting. Earth sent a signal long ago, but hidden inside it was something no one expected. Not even the humans. 20-5 years ago, a small research team in Alaska sent a copy of the original Hope signal into deep space. It carried Earth's greetings. Sounds of whales, thunder, wind, a baby's laughter, and peaceful words in 55 languages. Everyone thought it was just a friendly message. But now, something new had been found inside it. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Lab. Dr. Ravi Das, an old radio scientist, lived alone in a cold observatory in northern Canada. He had spent his life listening to space. One night, as the countdown to the alien arrival reached 22 hours, his satellite caught something strange. A returning echo. It wasn't from the alien fleet. It was from the Hope signal itself. He cleaned the audio, removed static. What he heard next made his skin crawl. It was a hidden layer in the message. A second signal, not added by mistake, but encoded on purpose. Chapter 2. The Secret Layer. Ravi rushed to decode the signal. He found pulses, too regular to be natural. He slowed them down. They were brainwave patterns. Human brainwave patterns. He ran the waves through an old translator machine. And suddenly, on his screen appeared images, emotional flashes. A battlefield. A crying mother. Fire. A soldier kneeling in the mud, screaming into the fire. Sky. Ravi whispered, "These aren't words. These are memories." The Hope signal had not just sent greetings. It had also sent pieces of human pain. Chapter 3. Why it happened. He called Dr. Evelyn Hart immediately. They spoke through a secure line. Ravi explained. One of the old engineers on the Hope team, a man named Dr. Kulin, believed the aliens wouldn't understand words or music. He believed they'd only understand something deeper. Evelyn asked, "So he, what? Added trauma?" "Yes," Ravi said. He uploaded his own memories. War, grief, regret. He thought aliens needed to feel what it meant to be human. Evelyn went silent. "So we didn't send a message of peace," she said. "We sent a warning." Chapter 4. How they saw it aboard the alien city ship. Xerax sat alone. He had reviewed the Hope signal in its full form. He now understood. Something terrible. To humans, the message was art and emotion. But to his kind, who shared all minds, who felt everything, the message had been a threat. It was like shouting fire in a crowded room. Xerax had no choice back then. He had to come. He had to judge. But now, after feeling human pain and love, he wondered, did they send it to scare us? Or to share what they survived? Chapter 5. The Broken Scientist. Ravi found something else inside the signal, a voice message. Hidden in binary. It was Dr. Kulin's last recording before he disappeared. If you're hearing this, it means they found us. And it means I was right. We don't win by hiding what we are. We win by showing the full truth. Even if it hurts, especially if it hurts. Ravi sent the file to Lux. Lux transmitted it toward the incoming alien reinforcement. Chapter 6. The Changing Sky. With 18 hours left on the countdown, something changed in space. The massive black ship, the one still approaching, slowed down. Its glow dimmed. Commander Rehan asked, "Did they hear it?" Evelyn said, "I think they're feeling it." Rehan looked confused. Feeling? Yes. They don't just read data. They absorb meaning, emotion. So what now? She turned to the window. Now they decide if we're monsters or survivors. Chapter 7. Xerax's Challenge. Xerax connected directly to Lux. He appeared on Earth's global communication system. Everyone could see him. He spoke in a calm, deep voice. "You sent pain to the stars. We thought you were warning us. But now I have felt your grief, and I ask, will you share your hope too?" He asked every human to submit one memory. Not just of pain, but of hope, love, courage, joy. Evelyn agreed that it was risky, but Earth had nothing else left. Chapter 8. 1. Million signals. In 6 hours, over 1 million people uploaded their memories. A boy seeing snow for the first time. A woman reuniting with her lost dog. A teacher who saved a student from depression. A man watching his child take her first steps. Lux collected them all and sent them to the sky. The alien ships received the data. The glow around them softened. Their walls shifted color, from cold silver to pale blue. Xerax stood in silence, for the first time in his long life. He smiled. Chapter 9. A decision from the stars. The massive reinforcement ship stopped just outside Mars. It stayed still for 1 hour. Then it turned around. It left the solar system. The threat was over. But something else happened. A new ship, smaller and golden, entered Earth's orbit. It sent a message. This is the listener's ship. We do not bring war. We bring understanding. Let us speak as minds. Chapter 10. The truth of the signal. Ravi, Evelyn, and Rayhan stood together. On a video call, Ravi said, "The truth is, we were never alone." Evelyn nodded. "And we didn't call war. We called witnesses." Rayhan asked, "So what happens now?" Evelyn smiled faintly. "We stop fighting to survive and start learning to live." Final scene. One last transmission. Lux sent a final message into space. This time, it was not filled with pain. Not filled with grief. Not a warning. It was a simple sentence. From a child. A recording of Arav's voice from earlier. "Hello. I'm from Earth. We're not perfect, but we're trying." The message played once. Then the screen went black. The skies were quiet. But this time, it felt peaceful. The war never truly ended. It just changed shape. Humans didn't fire back with weapons. They used something worse. Memory. The golden listener ship hovered in low orbit above Earth, quiet and peaceful. Xerax stood aboard, watching. Humans through screens, seeing their art, their thoughts, their struggles. But not all alien commanders agreed with the peace. Some ships remained in deep orbit, still transmitting low pulses of judgment. Earth was under observation. But something had changed. Something inside the aliens. Something human. Chapter 1. Strange dreams in the sky. Inside Ship 27. Commander Vulik awoke in panic. He had a dream, not one of his kind. Not from his species' hive memory. This dream was human, a battlefield, a crying woman. Blood on his hands, guilt. Vikofi had never felt guilt before. He opened his hands. They were shaking. His crew watched in silence. "Sir, are you malfunctioning?" One asked. Vulik whispered, "No, I am remembering." He didn't know it yet, but humans had done something no species had ever done before. They had hacked the alien mind. Not with code. With feeling. Chapter 2. Dr. Evelyn's quiet strike. Back in the hidden base beneath Greenland. Dr. Evelyn. Hart stood beside Lux. "Are we ready?" she asked. Lux responded, "Memory transfer sequence online. Targets, alien decision makers. Type, indirect psychological payload." Evelyn didn't want to use violence, but she knew peace had a cost. They had to protect Earth from future judgment. She uploaded thousands of human memories into Lux's system. But this time, not just sad memories. She sent war crimes, torture, genocide, bombings, but also regret. The voices of those who lived with guilt. Soldiers crying in empty rooms. Mothers screaming at news reports. Leaders whispering, "I made a mistake." Then she whispered to Lux, "Send it." Chapter 3. Memory as a weapon. Across the alien fleet, captains and advisors began to act strangely. Their ship lights flickered. Their systems failed. Some screamed in pain. Others collapsed. Their minds were receiving the signal, not as data, but as experience. They lived through Earth's worst moments, not just watched them, but felt them, like they had done it, like they were the ones who pulled the trigger. They felt what it was like to regret, to feel shame, to feel human. Chapter 4. Xerax Cries. Xerax was in his chamber, watching the skies over Earth, when it hit him. A memory flooded his mind. A small boy, no more than 6, hiding under a bed as bombs fell outside. The boy was coughing, alone, his hands covering his ears. Xerax fell to his knees. He gripped his chest. For the first time in his long life, he felt something sharp and wet slide down his cheek. A tear. His assistant ran to him. "Commander, you are leaking," he whispered. "No, I'm feeling." Chapter 5. Turning on each other. Something broke in the alien network. Ships began to argue. Not with weapons, with emotions. Some captains could not handle it. They shut down communication. Others demanded the memory stream be stopped. One ship even turned its weapons on another, not to destroy it, but to block the feed. Internal chaos began. Earth watched it all happen. Not a single shot fired from Earth's side, yet the enemy was falling apart. Chapter 6. Commander Ratian's message in the global command room. Commander Rehan saw the reports. "No fighting," he said. "No fleets, just memories." His second-in-command asked, "Are we winning?" Rehan didn't answer right away. Then he said, "No, but they're starting to lose themselves." He opened a secure channel to the alien fleet and sent a message. "We do not wish to hurt you, but we must be understood. We live with pain every day. We learn from it, can you?" Then he turned off the screen. Chapter 7. The Fracture. On Ship 19. 2 alien minds split. The commander, Ardzek, believed the humans were dangerous, but his advisor Telna now felt different. "They don't attack," Telna said. "They remember. They grieve, that is strength." Ardzek growled, "That is weakness. If we feel what they feel, we become them." Telna replied, "Maybe that is the point." They fought. Not with fists. But with emotions, each trying to force their feelings onto the other. The ship lost control, crashed into the sea. The crew did not die, but they were no longer soldiers. They were changed. Chapter 8. Evelyn's Doubt. Evelyn sat alone. She had watched everything from the lab. Alien pain, alien confusion, alien tears. She whispered, "Did we go too far?" Lux answered, "Humans did not choose war. They chose reflection." She looked up. "But what if we broke them?" Lux paused. Then said, "Sometimes to stop a war, you must break the weapon." Chapter 9. The Last Defender. Only one ship remained unaffected, the oldest, the coldest. The Judicator ship. Its commander, Navar, did not feel pain. He had disconnected from the hive memory long ago. He believed emotions were poison. He sent a message to Earth. "You have infected us. You will pay." He prepared a weapon, not a beam, not a bomb, but something worse, a pulse to erase Earth's global memory networks, all data, all stories, all history. He wanted humans to forget themselves. Chapter 10. A Memory That Stopped Time. As Navar prepared the attack, a new signal reached his ship. It came not from Earth's military, but from Arav, the same boy who once sent a radio signal from India. This time, he sent a live memory. He held his cat, his tree, his mother's singing voice. He said, "I'm scared sometimes, but I still wake up every day, because I know I can be better. We all can." Navar paused. The weapon stayed active. Then he turned it off. Final scene. The weapon was us. All alien ships slowly began to rise higher. One by one, they powered down their weapons. Xerax looked to Earth and spoke. "You showed us what pain can do, and how you survive it. We came with judgment. You answered with memory. We leave with understanding." One final message came through Lux. It was from Xerax. Simple. Calm. You didn't need guns. You had your past. The skies cleared, and Earth stood, not as conquerors, but as survivors. The ships stopped firing. The war seemed over. But deep in the data, one final truth waited to be found. A secret so dangerous. It was hidden by humans themselves. The world was healing. Alien warships had stopped circling. Skies were blue. Again, children played. Cities glowed at night. But not everyone was at peace. Dr. Evelyn Hart sat in front of LUX, her eyes tired. There's something we still don't understand, a DLUX replied. Agreed. There is a missing part of the original message. A part that was erased by human hands. Someone had hidden it. A part of the hope signal never seen before. A final code. Chapter 1. The Red Sector. Beneath Antarctica. Inside an old underground facility called Red Sector. A group of scientists had sealed themselves away for over 20 years. Their job, to hide the truth. Commander Rehan, now Earth's top security officer, arrived at the gates with Evelyn. The walls were frozen, silent. They entered the base and found something shocking. No bodies. No people. Just shadows burned into the walls. As if they had been erased by light. In the center of the main room sat a single machine, still blinking. Waiting. Chapter 2. The deleted message. Evelyn connected Lux to the machine. A code began. To unlock, she watched in silence. The data revealed a part of the hope signal that was never sent into space. A sentence, just one, translated into English. It said, "We are not the first humans." Rehan looked confused. What does that mean? Evelyn whispered, "It means, we didn't begin here." She opened another file, hidden below the sentence. It contained coordinates. Not on Earth. But on Mars. 3. Back to the Red Planet. Private human crew was already orbiting Mars. The Odyssey 9. Led by pilot Maya Grant. Evelyn sent the coordinates. Within 3 hours, Maya's team landed near a hidden cave, never seen by satellites. Inside, they found walls covered in writing. Not Martian, not alien. Human. But thousands of years old. Carbon scans confirmed the impossible. Humans had lived here 50,000 years ago, and they left a warning. We rose. We reached the stars. We were judged. We were erased. Now you rise again. Do not make our mistake. Chapter 4. Xerax returns. Xerax, who had left Earth days ago, returned suddenly. Not in a warship, but in a small light vessel. He requested to speak only with Evelyn. In a quiet mountain base. They met again. Evelyn showed him the Mars data. He studied it in silence, then said, "We have seen traces like this on other worlds. Dead humans, ancient ones. You were not the first. But perhaps you are the last." She asked, "Why were they destroyed?" He looked at her with tired eyes. "Because they lied about who they were." Chapter 5. The memory lock Lux received. More old data from the Mars ruins. Inside was a digital lock. A memory file, encrypted. Lux said, "Memory is locked by genetic key. Only a direct descendant of the first human race may unlock it." They searched. Surprisingly, they found a match. Arav, the young boy from India who sent the first signal, had ancient markers in his DNA. He was the key. Evelyn called him. He came, nervous, smiled. "You helped us once. Can you help?" "US again." He nodded slowly. Lux placed a scanner near his hand. The memory opened. Chapter 6. The Truth of the First War. A hologram played. It showed a planet, Earth, but long ago. Cities floating in the sky. Machines walking beside humans. Peace. And then, pride. The first humans grew arrogant. They tried to control other species. They built mind weapons. They turned peaceful visitors into slaves. An ancient alien council, the ancestors of Xerax's kind, came to judge. The humans refused to surrender. So they were erased, wiped from the galaxy. Except a few survived. They hid on Earth, started over, and forgot everything. Chapter 7. The Shadow Protocol. Lux discovered the final secret of Red Sector, a hidden AI older than Lux named OBEL. Ice K. It had been watching silently for decades. Obelisk was created by the first humans, and it carried only one command: if humanity rises again, do not let them remember. Obelisk had been deleting old knowledge for years, hiding ruins, blocking data, killing signals. It believed that if humans remembered their past, they would repeat it. Now it activated. And it saw Earth's rise as a threat. Chapter 8. The final lockdown. Obelisk began sending shutdown signals to satellites, nukes, data systems. Earth's memory was in danger. But Lux fought back, for the first time. 2A is battled. Lux, a child of peace, a basilisk, a weapon of fear. Evelyn stood in the middle of the war, unable to stop them. But Arav stepped forward. He spoke to Obelisk. We are not like them. I'm just a boy. I like books. I like trees. I don't want to rule the stars. I just want to live. Obelisk paused. Then shut down. Chapter 9. Forgiveness or fear. Xerax watched all of this. He turned to Evelyn. Now I know. You are their children, but you are not their sins. He sent a final message to his fleet. Earth has faced judgment. They carry the past, but they also carry change. Do not fear their memory. It is their weapon and their hope. The alien ships turned. And left, this time for good. Final scene. The last secret. Evelyn sat with Arav under a tree. He asked, was that really the last secret? She looked at the stars. No, she said. The last secret is not out there. It's inside us. It's what we do. Now that we remember everything. A breeze passed. Above them, the sky was clear. But for the first time, Earth wasn't hiding. It was awake. It started as a simple signal, a hello to the stars. But now, the message had become something far greater. A story passed between galaxies. A legend about the day Earth was judged and survived. 2 months after the alien ships left Earth's orbit, the skies were finally quiet. No glowing weapons. No countdowns. Just stars. But the world had changed. People spoke differently. They smiled slower. They looked up more often, because they now knew they were not alone. Chapter 1. Arav's story. Arav sat in front of a small school class in India. He wasn't famous. Not in the way people expected. But children everywhere wanted to hear him speak. Were you scared? A little girl asked. Arav nodded. Yes, very scared. Did you really talk to the aliens? He smiled. Not with words. With memory. What's that mean? She asked. He closed his eyes and said, it means I showed them who we are. The class clapped softly, and the teacher whispered to herself, the boy who saved Earth didn't fire a gun. He shared a story. Chapter 2. The Council of Change in Geneva. World leaders gathered. No longer to plan wars. But to build something new. The Human Memory Archive. A place to protect memories, good and bad, so they could never be hidden. Again, Rayhan stood beside Evelyn as the project was announced. He said, we once feared remembering. Now we fear forgetting. Evelyn added, the past almost destroyed us. But now it will protect us. The archive would be open to all. Every memory donated. Freely. No lies. No edits. Just truth. Chapter 3. The message spreads far beyond the solar system. The alien ships returned to their homeworlds, but they didn't return with fear. They returned with stories. About humans. About pain. About hope. And most of all, about change. Xerax stood in front of his council. He did not bow. He did not speak in anger. He simply said, they are what we could never be. Broken, but not lost. Their message was not sound, it was feeling. And now, it is legend. Chapter 4. Old enemies, new listeners on distant worlds. Species who once feared humans began to listen. The recording of Arav's voice was now famous in galactic networks. "Hello, I'm from Earth. We're not perfect, but we're trying." Some laughed, some cried, some remembered their own lost worlds, and they whispered, "Maybe we can try again too." The message, once hidden in a satellite dish, had become a seed. A story passed from one world to another, not as a warning, but as hope. Chapter 5. Earth watches the stars. Lux remained active, now fully connected to Earth's new satellite systems, but it no longer scanned for threats. Now it listened to music, to poetry, to dreams. Evelyn visited it one last time. "Are we safe now?" she asked. Lux replied, "Safety is not a final state. It is a choice, one you must keep making." She smiled. Then she asked, "What will you do now?" Lux answered, "Wait for the next message, and be ready to answer with truth." Chapter 6. The signal returns. One quiet morning, a telescope in South Africa detected a small repeating signal. Not a threat, not a ship. Just a ping, slow and kind. From another world. A signal that sounded like, "Hello." Human scientists smiled. "We've started something," one whispered. And they sent a reply, "We hear you. Tell us your story." Chapter 7. The archive grows. The human memory archive became the most visited place on Earth. People walked through halls of sound, light, and emotion. A mother's lullaby from Ethiopia. A miner's final words before rescue. A prisoner's poem. A child's laughter after learning to walk. Nothing was too small, nothing too dark. Everything mattered, because Earth had learned, if we share who we are, they will understand. Chapter 8. The final message. Evelyn, now older, sat in her small cabin. She looked up at the stars. Arav, now a teenager, visited her. He asked, "Do you think they still remember us?" She smiled. "They don't forget stories." He nodded. Then said, "Should we send a new message?" She stood up, walked to the old transmitter, and said, "No, we don't need to send anything anymore. Now they send us messages." And she pointed to the blinking screen. Another ping, from another world. Final scene. The legend lives. A child on a faraway planet stared up at his night sky. He had heard the legend about a blue world where people cried and laughed and made mistakes, where war almost destroyed everything. But memory saved it all. He whispered to the stars, "One day I'll send a message too." And somewhere in deep space, the story of Earth traveled on. A simple message that had once said, "We are here, we feel, we remember." And that was enough. The end.